Tonight on News Center at 6.
It's very scary to me, and I definitely don't want my 6-year-old, to have to go through a lifetime of dealing with the side effects of Lyme disease.
The spread of ticks into parts of Maine that have not seen a lot of activity in the past is catching some parents off guard. We'll show you how deer ticks are extending their range.
The life you lived, it counted. It counted for something.
Following days of tributes in the nation's capital, Maine pauses with pride to honor Corporal Eugene Cole. Also ahead.
Last year we had asparagus on Mother's Day. This year we haven't.
Today's sunshine is an exception this spring because we've had relentless cold and rain, weather that is frustrating for local farmers.
And it has been chilly, but it looks like things are going to warm up. We'll talk about it coming up.
A warning from experts. The wet weather we've been having this spring is sure to bring a very active tick season this summer. Good evening. I'm Pat Callahan.
And I'm Cindy Williams. That word comes as more research is confirming that an army of deer ticks, which may be carrying Lyme disease, is continuing to advance into western and northern Maine. The data also show for the first time that deer ticks are surviving despite harsh conditions this winter in Aroostook County. News Center's Vivian Lee is here now to explain what this means for people and their pets who spend a lot of time outdoors.
I don't know about you guys, but a lot of us have been thinking that a cold winter with a lot of snow like Aroostook County got this past winter would kill off any of the ticks left in the woods. But experts say even under more than 140 inches of snow, the deer ticks simply hibernated, and it's only a matter of time before they're in every corner of the state. Meanwhile, thousands of Mainers are living under a false sense of security, thinking there's no chance they'll be bitten by a deer tick. Sarah Brooks grew up going to her family's camp in Charleston, about 30 miles northwest of Bangor. Now she takes her 6-year-old son, Jordan, who loves the outdoors.
He gets right down and he digs.
After a recent visit, she got a call from her son's teacher. Jordan's ear was red and he said it hurt. Initially, she says his teacher thought it was a bug bite.
I went to wipe it off, but she says, and I didn't expect it to wave back at me.
Jordan's teacher managed to pull out most of the deer tick, but the head was embedded in his ear. Jordan received antibiotics to kill the bacteria that causes Lyme disease. But for Sarah, who hadn't done a tick check on herself or her son, it was a serious wake-up call.
I wasn't as vigilant either because I thought the ticks were dying over the winter.
New research is confirming just the opposite. Deer ticks can use snow as a blanket to survive very cold temperatures, even buried under a dozen feet of snow, which fell in far northern Maine.
Ticks are able to survive well in Presque Isle, which might be surprising since we don't have very good data of whether or not they're there.
Volk is tracking tick migration in southern, western, and northern parts of the state.
Ticks are larvae, the nymphs, and adults, so it's their second life stage.
She shows us these tick nymphs, which look like moving poppy seeds. They're placed in a bottle inside tick traps. The traps were buried in the ground from last fall until this April. Some of the vials were under leaves, others were exposed. More than 90% of the ticks under leaf cover survived at locations in Cape Elizabeth, near Millinocket, and Presque Isle, while only 3% of the ticks without any insulation in the traps lived. The data is vital in helping pinpoint where ticks are heading, especially in areas that are still reporting low cases of Lyme disease. According to the Maine CDC, Aroostook County had 4 cases of Lyme in 2018 and Piscataquis 3 cases. Cumberland County had the highest number of cases with 286. The agency says there were more than 1,400 confirmed and probable cases of Lyme in Maine for that year. Volk hopes to compile the data into a map tracking deer migration throughout the state. The map will also include the locations of ticks carrying bacteria that causes Lyme and other tick-borne illnesses. She will collect and test ticks this summer from southern, western, and northern Maine.
We're going to test them for Borrelia, which causes Lyme, Anaplasma, which causes anaplasmosis, and then Babesia, which causes babesiosis.
A couple miles up this road.
Game Warden Joe Lefebvre patrols Knox and Lincoln counties for the Maine Warden Service, but he never goes into the woods without protective clothing. This camouflage suit is pre-treated with permethrin. The pesticide is able to incapacitate ticks or cause them to fall off the fabric.
I have not been bitten since wearing this.
Over the years, he has watched more deer ticks advance from the coast and southern Maine.
More and more. They started progressing north Seems like 5 miles, about 5 miles every year. I noticed I'd take my uniform off and I'd dig out all the ones that were embedded. I'd find them in my armpits, on my back. Sometimes I'd bring 20 of these home a day.
Lefebvre was treated with antibiotics shortly after experiencing pain and a rash from a tick bite, but he ended up being diagnosed with chronic Lyme 2 years later.
I couldn't walk 100 yards. I was a mess. I would have to sit down and recover and then go a little bit further. My brain fog was horrible.
Lefebvre is still receiving treatment, which he says saved his life, but he still suffers from the effects of Lyme disease. The Maine Warden Service provides gear treated with permethrin to all game wardens and prompt medical attention after reporting a tick bite.
Every day is about survival.
In the meantime, Jordan has not experienced any medical problems related to the tick bite. Sarah and her family now wear protective clothing and do tick checks. She says Volk's research will be a valuable tool in helping her family protect themselves against Lyme disease.
It's very scary to me, and I definitely don't want my 6-year-old to have to go through a lifetime of dealing with the side effects of Lyme disease. If we had a map we could follow where the ticks are migrating or where there's a large outbreak of them, that would be very helpful, because we're outside, we do camping, four-wheeling.
Scientists believe that tear migration and climate change are playing a role in why ticks are migrating, and Volk also hopes to use the data and post information about tick activity and diseases that they carry on signs at all the state parks throughout Maine. And coming up on 207, Chuck Lebelzik, a field biologist with the Maine Medical Center Research Institute, talks about what repellents should be used to protect against ticks, and we'll have all that on our website and mobile app. Really great information, especially right now.
It's so disappointing to hear how resilient the ticks are.
Yes.
You can't get a break.
Well, you know what I've been calling them? Nuclear, so
there you go.
I don't know. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you. A powerful moment today in Augusta as the wife of fallen Somerset County Sheriff's Deputy Eugene Cole meets the wife and baby boy of fallen State Police Detective Ben Campbell.
Those families, police officers from across the state, and the governor all attended a ceremony at Maine's Law Enforcement Officers Memorial to honor Deputy Cole.
And newsletter Zach Blanchard was there.
Corporal Cole's name now etched into stone at this memorial here, a final tribute for a man who sacrificed for his country and for his fellow Mainers.
Well, it seems like we've always been together.
Corporal Cole's legacy lives on in his music, sung by his wife Cheryl and brother Tom.
It should be.
It's humbling, it's moving, it's just so many emotions, but overall it's just being very proud of my brother.
That pride shared by officers from all over the state, honoring Maine's fallen heroes.
We need to take a second to pause in that busy world that we live in, to love and respect those that we've lost along the way.
It's been just over a year since the Somerset County Sheriff's Deputy was shot and killed in the line of duty, the first in Maine in decades.
On the job, he was steady, kind, and compassionate, known for keeping a level head even in the darkest of moments.
His family welcomed home to a ceremony in Augusta after a week spent in Washington, where thousands recognized Cole and more than 300 other fallen officers from across the country. His name also now on the national monument there.
It hits very close to home.
For all to remember.
Gene Philip Cole.
His name read aloud at a candlelight vigil on the National Mall for all to hear.
Eugene P. Cole.
And again at the National Peace Officers Memorial on Capitol Hill for his family to find closure. Here at home, they find that comfort in those closest to them, making sure he is never forgotten.
They're the ones that have supported us through this whole thing, the community, the great state of Maine.
Corporal Eugene Cole, a name forever inscribed in stone, in hearts.
Can't imagine life here without you by my side.
And in song.
The life you lived, it counted. It counted for something.
Cole is now among 85 other officers recognized on this wall here. Unfortunately, the next one to be added next year is State Trooper Detective Ben Campbell. In Augusta, Zach Blanchard, News Center, Maine.
Coming up next on News Center at 6, the story of two different kinds of roads in Maine.
Ones where drivers are going way too fast, others where they have no choice but to go very slowly. And later, what this cold, wet, endless spring is doing to farmers. Shannon Moss takes us to one farm that's more mud than plants.
And you can always stay connected to News Center Maine 24/7 with our mobile app. It's free in the Apple Store and Google Play. We are at the tail end of the evening commute on this Thursday, and this is a shot of drivers heading down High Street in Portland, right past a not-so-gentle reminder to slow down. Signs like these have been popping up all over Maine in the last few years. But do they work? Is anyone paying attention? And it's fair to ask, does Maine have a speeding problem?
In the state's largest city, staff say yes, and it is a growing concern to families who live in some of the state's most highly traveled areas.
Senator Chris Costa shows us what cities and towns across the state are doing about it.
Jack Coulter loves exploring the playground and everything around it.
We're not going to go in the parking lot. I know that's your favorite place to play.
His mom, Maria, needs to keep a constant eye on her little guy.
Can we not go in the parking lot?
Especially near this busy road in Yarmouth.
I usually see people going 40 to 45 down this road. And I mean, yeah, I think as a parent it would make me nervous, especially as he gets a little bit older and I'm not right there to keep an eye on him.
In Portland, the city installed 2 of these active feedback monitors, one on High Street a year ago and one on State Street 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like your mom tapping you on the shoulder going, hey man, you're speeding, can you slow down a little bit? And you're like, okay mom, you're right.
Cities across the state, like Wiscasset, are adding these signs thanks to a discount because the Maine Department of Transportation buys them in bulk. City staff in Portland say these signs record drivers' speeds, and those stats show the signs have helped.
We've measured the speeds before and after at several of the locations, case in point, State Street and High Street, and the speeds have gone down. I would say slightly, but they have gone down. So the more of that feedback that can happen, the better off we are.
Especially with so many people walking in these areas.
Certainly if someone strikes a pedestrian at over 40 miles an hour, it's very likely to be fatal. So those are the things we're concerned about.
Whether you're downtown or driving back roads, a little safety pays.
It only takes 2 seconds to get in a car accident and you just don't know the outcome.
That's News Center's Chris Costa reporting. Now, these signs are portable, so they can easily be moved, maybe to your favorite route to and from work, so driver beware. Now to a follow-up about a stretch of road where speeding is not an option.
A couple of weeks ago, we told you about the Ohio Street extension in the town of Glenburn, just outside of Bangor. It's a road that begins where the pavement on Ohio Street ends. And this spring, it has been a muddy, nearly impassable mess.
Which is why people who live on that road want to know how the town classifies it. Is it private, abandoned, discontinued, or maybe even a public road? The answer could determine whether it gets paved and plowed.
Senator Samantha Sugarman has been following this story every muddy step of the way. She joins us now from Glenburn with the latest. Samantha?
Pat and Cindy, I'm outside the Glenburn Town Hall where in just a little while the town's lawyer is expected to tell those Ohio Street residents whether their road is private or public. Now their road is so muddy right now that cars and trucks cannot get down the road. Knee-deep mud they have to go through. So residents are forced to travel to and from their homes by ATV or walk. There are nearly 20 homes right on Outer Ohio and even more on neighboring side streets. So that's about 50 to 60 town residents who are unable to be reached by emergency vehicles or even the town's garbage truck. Tonight, these residents are looking for answers from the town. If it's a public street, they're looking for the town to start providing maintenance. If it's private, they want it gated so residents who don't live on the road won't be allowed access.
We have a number of private roads in our community, from camp roads to other road associations, and most of those folks have formed associations or developed plans on their own to maintain those private roads and camp roads. And so there may be opportunities like that for the folks down there to do that, and we're certainly happy to help facilitate some of that.
This meeting is set to get underway right behind me at the town council at the town hall with the town council in just about an hour's time. We'll have the latest decision from the town council coming up tonight at News Center Maine at 11 o'clock and always on newscentermaine.com. For now, reporting live in Glenburn, I'm Samantha Sugarman, News Center Maine.
Thanks, Samantha. We'll see you tonight. Well, there may be some warmer weather headed our way soon. Jess Conley has your forecast next on News Center.
And later, how to get your mitts on a coveted bib to run in the Beach to Beacon 10K this summer. We're giving some away. Details on how to sign up.
We'll go inside the company disrupting the beef business with a product that looks and tastes a lot like the real thing, but will consumers bite? Plus, we'll look at what's behind the new adversity score coming to the SAT when we see you on NBC Nightly News.
Sunshine and mild temperatures. Mother Nature blessed us today with a beautiful spring day. It's the kind of weather that has been elusive all season.
Yeah, our cold and rainy spring is not only affecting a lot of people's moods, it's also having an impact on our crops and the farmers who grow them. News Center Shannon Moss has more.
We can't skip out on them. We'll do them last. And that's the latte. That's the last one we're going to do.
At Riverside Farm in North Berwick, corn is already being planted.
We transplant it right through plastic, and the plastic will heat the ground up and make the corn grow faster, so we have early corn.
But not as early as he was hoping.
All this corn should have been planted last week.
David Tuttle, an 11th generation farmer, has experienced all kinds of challenging seasons. This year is one of them.
Just two words, cold and wet. I find a seed here. There's one.
Farmer Dave, as he is affectionately called, says the relentless rain and cold temperatures this spring have delayed planting for almost every crop they grow.
Now this should be up out of the ground, but the ground has been so cold that it hasn't grown fast enough.
And that's a long list.
That's corn planted over there. That corn isn't even up yet. That was planted May 5th, and it should be at least up out of the ground, and it's not. Strawberries are very much going to be delayed because it's been too cold. They haven't been growing.
They will. We'll just have to wait.
We have a short growing season, so we really try to do everything we can to get early product.
It forces Tuttle and his crew to get creative.
We have tunnels, plastic tunnels that we put on them to heat the ground, heat the plants, and protect them from frost.
Plastic is used as an insulator for a lot of their crops.
It's just like putting a little greenhouse over them in the field.
Tuttle knows to be a successful farmer, it's all about patience and perspective.
I have friends at the farm up in Aroostook County, and they said they've still got snow along the edge of the wood line.
With continued hard work and a little help from Mother Nature, we should be enjoying fresh produce sometime this summer.
We need more sunshine, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful? This is perfect. I love it.
In North Berwick, Shannon Moss, News Center, Maine.
Now, maybe come September, we'll be grateful for some late summer crops. So let's focus on that.
All right, we'll think in those terms. But we do have some warmth coming.
It is. It's coming. I promise.
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah. Let's look at our temperatures from today. I mean, high temperatures today. We were only able to make it into the upper 50s and lower 60s. So it was definitely on the cool side. Our normal high temperature at this time of year, 64 degrees. We couldn't quite make it there though. Look at these average temperatures. We're over 2 degrees below normal for the month of May so far in both Portland and in Bangor. Let me get out of the way so you can see those. Temperatures, of course, have been below normal, just like you saw in that last story. Temperatures will warm up, though. I promise as we go into the beginning of next week, things will look at least a little bit better. Here's a current look at the satellite radar. You can see still a couple showers out there. We still have some clouds around, too. As we go into the day tomorrow, we will still see some clouds and some showers. However, as we go into this weekend, things are going to improve, and it looks pretty good for at least the first half of the weekend. The second half's okay as well. You can still see those clouds around right now. Overnight tonight, clouds still sticking around, and yeah, as we go into tomorrow, we'll still see those clouds. Unfortunately, a few showers move in by tomorrow afternoon, and into tomorrow evening you can see just some showers. It's not going to be a steady heavy rain or anything like that, but still not a great day. But after that, things improve, and it looks like it'll be pretty nice for at least the first half of the weekend. Here's Saturday morning, temperatures starting out in the upper 40s, low to mid 50s, so really not too bad for this time of year. And you can see some breaks here in the clouds. We'll see some sunshine. It looks like things will be pretty nice. Saturday afternoon, temperatures warming up to upper 50s, low to mid 60s across southern Maine. Temperatures a little bit above normal for this time of year, so that'll be a nice change. Still some breaks of sunshine as we head into Saturday evening as well. And then for the day on Sunday, we're going to start out with some sun, but by Sunday afternoon, we're going to see another chance of rain. We have yet another chance of rain for the day on Monday. Even as we head into the day on Tuesday, another chance of showers. But good news, There has to be some, right? Temperatures are going to warm up by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Temperatures should be able to break the 70-degree mark for at least part of Maine. Now, this is because of warm fronts coming through. The farther north the warm front gets, the warmer it'll be in southern Maine. Unfortunately, in northern Maine, it's going to be tough still for it to warm up, but we'll get there eventually, right? Seas tomorrow 1 to 2 feet, winds from the south-southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Water temperature still a chilly 48 degrees. So here's your extended forecast. Again, for tomorrow, still kind of cloudy with those showers around. Not a great day. However, the first half of the weekend looks pretty nice. We'll clear out quickly. We'll see some sunshine by Saturday afternoon, and Saturday evening looks good too. We'll start the day on Sunday with some sun. Those showers roll in for Sunday night and Monday with the warm front. But temperatures, Monday, we could be in the upper 70s, guys.
Finally, a trend we can get behind.
I know,
here.
it's about
We
time.
like it.
We deserve it.
And good timing because Memorial Day weekend comes up after that 7 days. So we'll be looking for those numbers.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jess.
Thanks,
We're back after this. If you missed out on getting a bib to run this year's TD Beach to Beacon 10K, you've got another shot. We have 6 of them, and we're raffling them off.
To enter the sweepstakes, just go to our website and find the contest section under features. Or if you prefer, you can use your mobile app. Scroll down until you find the word win.
You've got until 11:59 Sunday night to enter. The 6 winners will be randomly selected Monday. So good luck to everyone. And really, none of us are competing. In my case, I tend to only run when I'm being chased. So
I'm with you on that.
I just can't run. Yeah. This doesn't work.
But it's going to be a great event. Hopefully by then temperatures will warm up by August.
By August,
right?
yeah.
By August, they better.
Some showers still around tomorrow, guys. Temperatures in the upper 50s, in the 60s though with sun for the first half of the weekend.
that's News Center.
right.
We'll see you at 11.
Good night.